Well, hello there. This is Shane from Shane's Books and Review, and I hope that you had a great weekend. Today is Friday, and we're going to be talking about some more Marko Kloos. The Chains of Command. Luke Daniels is the one that did the narrations in this audiobook. I've yet to listen to one of his books where I was like, there's something just... I've not ever had that with this guy. I've enjoyed the narrations so far, all the way up to book 4, and quite to be honest about it, I've gone through all of them except for the last one. Sometimes I just like to start over, and so that's what we've done. At the end of the video, we'll release which one we'll be talking about in a couple weeks' time. That way, you wonderful guys and gals will have a chance to check it out yourselves and participate in the comment sections below, and I do read those. What makes this book worth your time, efforts, and energies? So let's go through some of it. In the last book where it left off, it was kind of an odd circumstance. Earth is kind of in peril at this point. It starts out kind of in peril, but now it's really in bad shape. Overpopulated, a lot of the resources are gone. Humanity's at really a low peak in its existence because things could go either way. If we decide to pull ourselves up by our bootstraps, we could probably become something, but there's so much poverty and so many bad things have happened and so many bad choices made that there's not that many jobs. There's all kinds of cities that have been erected that house the people that are unemployed and can't find anything to do. So we've got that part of it. And then there's these Lankies. With the introduction of the Lankies, now we have a reason to kind of work together, only because we were almost absolutely demolished from the entire areas of the stars that we have become accustomed to being in. That way, we had other outposts and other places where we could get resources. Now, with those Lankies, it got to a point where we know that they're tracing us somehow in the books, but we don't quite know how yet. In the last one, it was said it was because of Akukaberi Drive. Sorry, but anyway, they got stranded out at a place way out in the middle of nowhere, and they had to make a suicide run back to Earth to try to save the place that they were at. Come to find out, things were really off. Then we get to the next book, which is the one we're on now, The Chains of Command. The problem is that the entire leadership of the planet, in a swift move, just abandons the planet and takes off somewhere, and nobody knows where. The reason why I bring up the last book is they discovered a secret place where they were staging stuff to take off. They abandoned Earth. They have their own little paradise. And in this book, this is where that comes into play, because now it's not necessarily revenge time. Moreover, it's a staging book for the next one in the series. And the reason why it's important is because they need to get these advanced warships that have been built to put together the rest of the way. They need to reclaim ships. They need to reclaim personnel if possible, so that we would actually have a fighting chance to defend against these things that are now in our own solar system. They've took over Mars, being the Lankies. Getting ready to see in the next book what happens there. Will it be that humanity, with the stuff that they've reclaimed and with the justice that was meted, will we be able to overcome it or not? So it's an interesting series in just that alone. It is sci-fi, it is space-based, there is a lot of fighting. In this book, there was a lot of action, and there were several moments where if it was a movie, I could see that one guy stand up in the back of the theater, do a fist pump like he's on the end of the Breakfast Club, for those of you that catch that reference. But it was finality moments of defining who characters are. The bromance that I have for Master Sergeant Fallon, because she is, and that happened. So there it is. She's a very lovable, no-nonsense character. She really has a way of putting it the way that it is, and she's also really good at getting things done. And as this book has continued on, from the beginning of this book, our lovable main character, Andrew Grayson, has learned to be able to depend upon her more and more, which is a good thing, really, because in the grand scheme of things, you got to be able to disseminate. You've got to be able to point other people in directions that you need things done, because you can't handle it all yourself. And that's something that he has actually took to very well, where so many people wouldn't be able to. Some of the feelings that this book made me feel, there's a lot of excitement. There's a lot of want for hope for the characters in this book to be able to succeed in their endeavors to save not only the colony of Mars, but also Earth, to drive these things that have completely took over everything and have been tracing us apparently because of radar. See them win. See them take over that, and maybe take the fight home to them. Not necessarily to completely eradicate, but maybe to set up a precedent of, no, stay away. That way they can do what they do, and we can do what we do. Moreover, the thing about expectations and hope and excitement is maybe once all this is done, perhaps humanity in this series will finally get the understanding of the world is precious. We need to do a better job of taking care of it. and the people that are in it, and we should probably re-examine the things that are valuable to us so that we can have a better life altogether. The question of the week. As humans, we hate to see things we get invested in to be took away, and so I can understand where authors wouldn't axe character. So the question is that a big deal to you guys and gals? Is characters not being killed off that should have been killed off being more realistic? Is that a deterrent? Is that a turn off instead of a turn on for a series for you? I would love to know. Let me know down there in that comment box, and I'll check it out and probably put it up on the next video. So in a couple weeks time, we're going to be taking another one of Rick Brown's books and setting it on the channel. It will be The Rise of the Quinary. Was this book something that was worth reading? It certainly was. Unlike a couple of other books that have been in series that they're kind of like filler material, this is a filler book. It is a book setting up to the next one. But that doesn't take away from the fact that there was really strong writing for what the series is. There was definitives, there was more examples of characters doing exactly what they should do, trying their best to do just their best. And for that, I would say yes, it is worth your time, efforts, and energy. Like, share, subscribe. This is Shane from Shane's Books and Review. Hope that you enjoyed today's book. If you have read it or plan to read it, let me know down there in the comment section. I'd love to spark a conversation about these because they really are kind of an unknown but really good series. And I will see you in the next video.